I'm Joni Ernst. I grew up castrating hogs on an Iowa farm. So when I get to Washington, I'll know how to cut pork.
Yeah, you heard it right. Okay, Joni Ernst, she wants to be the U.S. Senator from the great state of Iowa here. You actually like that, Donovan?
I think it's one of the smartest ads I've ever seen.
I castrate pigs, really?
I really do. You know why?
You don't think when she said that every guy in the audience, you know, went like that? I mean, come on.
You have to remember, that maybe because I drove the backwoods or the back roads of Iowa. So maybe you got to understand, they look at things differently than the way we do here in New York. They don't look at things the same way that we do. To them,
that's a U.S. senator. Okay,
but,
we're not
but to
trying
them,
to be dog catchers.
But to them, that's a very serious business that she's talking about. Dealing with pigs, whether you're castrating them or cooking them.
It may not be in Iowa something that makes you flinch when you hear castrating pigs. To me, just that phrase, castrating pigs, makes me very uncomfortable. Okay, now I don't know that a male.
On so many levels, right?
It doesn't sit right with me. However, a male in Iowa, that may be just what they say.
I'm moving to Iowa, and I'm going to vote for her.
What is it about that ad that makes you want to vote for her?
The one part of it, she connects the pork. That's a very, very imaginative. The pork in Washington. You know, here we go. And she looks earnest.
And pig castration.
That's the scariest part
pork.
of it. She didn't
There's a lot of
other. She's like, hey, there's a good time on Saturday.
There's a lot of, when she talks about cutting pork, there's a lot of other areas of the pig that's really the pork.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with the castration
I'm begging
part.
you to stop.
I'm just going to leave it there.
You know, there was other stuff which I had no time here, but I'm curious from your guys' standpoint, and you guys covering it. McConnell was sitting there, and he was just posing for the camera like they were asking him to, and this spot kind of, just so they could help it to drop in spots, as you know, when they build commercials and stuff. It seems to me that there are so many potential pitfalls for a candidate today's day and age. It doesn't matter what party or even what office you're running for, because everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's got a camera phone. Everybody can tweet something. It's great for rapid response. But are you worried who's in the room now much more than you were 20 years ago when you're figuring out strategy to do a campaign? I mean, you get worried who's going to repeat what you said out of context even, and I'm not talking about gelding pigs or castrating.
Look, forget about the bad conduct that occurs through some of the mobile phone type of devices, a la Anthony Weiner. Let's talk about the legitimate communications that need to take place on a campaign or with staffers. And when you do that, and some of it is supposed to be confidential, but you know, it goes to a misdirected email. Someone, a rogue staffer, decides to send it out. I mean, it's a problem, but it has to do with the dynamic and fluidity of all
communication. It does shine a light on motive and motivation. When the camera was there for Romney's 47%, the gaffe wasn't that he said it. The gaffe was that was the organizing principle of the campaign.
It wasn't a gaffe.
It wasn't a gaffe. As opposed to the George Allen macaca moment from a few years back, which was just, I think it rubbed people the wrong way because it struck them as being insensitive.
It is tougher to run a campaign, I imagine, now, or is it easier, you think?
Oh, it's a lot harder because the attention span of the consumer is so small that you've only got a short, if it's a campaign TV advertisement or anything, you have a very small period of time to get in there and make your point. And most often points are made in the negative because people listen to it.
Now, a lot of people that you wouldn't have thought were in the room or even given them second thought, now all of a sudden could single-handedly sink your campaign, right?
Beware that camera on that phone can record anything, including video, as you know, at any time.
We're going to wrap things up on RFL right after this.